What's going on, you guys? Cameron Muscio here with the first FileMaker Pro Skillshare course on Skillshare. We are going to be talking about how FileMaker can benefit either your small business, how you can learn FileMaker Pro to benefit businesses, and how you can take leverage and take advantage of this low-code platform. FileMaker is the best low-code platform there is to building sophisticated advanced applications for small and large businesses. FileMaker has their desktop application that you can see here. This is FileMaker Pro on the desktop. This is a single user license that I use to develop. With FileMaker, there's also FileMaker Server, and then there's now something new called FileMaker Cloud. Now, we can talk about the FileMaker Server and FileMaker Cloud at a later date because the first foundational skill that you need to know is FileMaker Pro. FileMaker Pro is what you use to develop the business apps. Business apps are something that's considered like the CRM, the customer relationship management system. So basically you have customers, you do work, you invoice customers, and then you have payments. And then in between all that, you have between gaining the customer and you have that phase in between of the work and then the invoice. And there's a layer before the work because sometimes you need to do inspections. So there's a bunch of sequences that you need to do before you reach that tier of like, okay, now it's a work order. Or when the work is being done, there's a certain process, like the construction industry, for example, you have planning, and then you have permits, and then you have approvals, and then you have to get your calculators approved for a price. And then you also have to go through an approval process with the client saying, hey, do you approve this price? Yes or no? No. Go back to the drawing board. Go to back to your calculator. These calculators can be built in your system. So it's a workflow so that when you do this, it goes here. And when it's there, it goes here. And when it's there, it goes here. Those are kind of called statuses, or workflows for that matter. So for apps that I've made apps in the construction industry where we start with a lead. A new lead is gaining a customer or building a lead from an existing customer, assigning a property to that customer, because one customer can have multiple properties, which one company can manage one customer's multiple properties for. This is why the relationships are cool, because you can have one single customer, but that single customer can have many, many, many different records for many different locations. So that's one way to imagine a FileMaker database where you can take tables, fields, and create layouts for all those interactions. Now, you can think of a table and fields as an Excel spreadsheet. It's the exact same way. In an Excel spreadsheet, you have rows and then you have columns. Now, the columns represent fields, like a field type: first name, last name, email, phone number. And then the rows is the actual data that you're putting in. So the first row would say, like, for example, my name, Cameron Muscio. So the first column, first row would say Cameron. Second column, first row would say Muscio. And then my phone number and email, all on the same line. FileMaker is the exact same way. But what we do is we make it visually better for the user to input that data and visually view that data. So with FileMaker Pro open here, just to give you guys an example, when we go to create here, FileMaker gives these predefined starter packages where you can use these packages to build off of. We can go to this contacts. I'm going to put this on my Mac. Just put it on my desktop for now. So you can see that without even doing anything, FileMaker gives you an app. They give you these starter apps you can work with. And like I said earlier, we have these versions of creating these views so that it's like an Excel spreadsheet. We can go to this view and I can turn on table view. If we go to table view here, you can see that these are columns, and we have title, first name, last name, job title, company, website. Now if we go back to form view or layout view, this is where we can start inputting data. And inputting data allows us to drag photos. No, we got to create a new record. We can add photos. This title is just a drop down. First name field. Job title. This is automatically populated. company is Think Studio, and the website is the Think Studio. And we can do these tab views to save space on the layout, so you can create tab folders so that you have data each tab. This saves space on the actual database itself. Create our own email. Phone number. And then you can create your own address. So this is an example of what a FileMaker database is. It's a way of creating and inputting data on a specific layout. Now, like I said, that you need to learn the fundamentals of creating tables, fields, and then simple layouts to build the big application that will help manage large organizations, that is managing, like I said, the customers, the buildings, the properties, the offices, contacts. Do we have a calculator built for this company? Do we have a calculator built for this specific job? What materials do we need to order? What materials have already been ordered? Has this customer been billed yet? We need to create this foundational asset here with the tables, fields, and layouts before we can get something big. And in this course, I'm going to show you how to leverage FileMaker Pro to build the simple versions of these tables, fields, and layouts. So without further ado, guys, please join this course. It's free. It's the beginner course to FileMaker, and I'm going to go through all the steps of how to create these different assets in FileMaker Pro. Just one more note, you need FileMaker Pro in order to move forward. Please go to FileMakerPro.com to make a purchase of FileMaker Pro, or Clairs.com. It's the same website. Please go do that and see me in the course in episode number 2. Thanks, guys.